Hi everyone, Beatrice is here from North Carolina. Thanks for clicking on this video to hear my story. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and like this video for more content. For as long as I remember, I had a crush on Matthew. It wasn't a small crush either. It was the type where every waking moment was spent thinking about him. Our moms are best friends. Because of so, I knew Matthew since we were both children. I am not joking with you when I said if I looked at any of my old baby photos, you will see a picture of him by my side. I didn't know when I started to see him more than a friend, but I didn't want to risk throwing away years of friendship because of a crush. Not to mention, since both our parents get along so well, we often did sleepovers at each other's house unannounced. I didn't want to ruin something so special to us. This went all the way into college a freshman year. He became this popular football-playing jock. Everyone on our campus spoke about him as if he was a Greek god. Every single cheerleader slept with him, along with like half the campus. I was heartbroken and sad each time. And I would get elastic when he became single because I thought I could have my chance. By this time, he would give us a chance. Yet, it never came. I became the nerd with only 2 friends that never dated anyone in my life. My grades were perfect straight A's, and I was on the dean's list every single year. I became very accomplished, but I had been wanting a boyfriend to fill my void. Though, I would never tell anyone that. But as you can see in the title, everything is about to change. Our university has a short weekend once a semester where it closes to allow students to relax. That means that the building where classes are usually in session were closed as well. I was so excited because I was going to have a sleepover and movie night with Matthew. I didn't want anything to distract me from a fun weekend, and I was waiting for Matthew to get out of his football practice anyways. So I stayed my last class of the day to catch up on my homework. Well, before I went to buy some 2 big bags of food, snacks, and drinks since he's going to drive us back home too. "Hi, B," Matthew said, swinging into the empty classroom where I was. I checked my time and was surprised that 3 hours had already passed. He closed the door behind him and flashed me one of his signature grins. "You ready to head home?" "What took so long today?" I pouted. I didn't mean to sound jealous, but the thought of him with anyone else really did irk me a bit. I pushed up my glasses and he laughed. "Sorry, did I make you wait long?" I shook my head and placed my laptop back into my school bag. "No, I didn't even realize because of my homework, but I know your football practice ended like 2 hours ago." He gave me another nervous chuckle and then sighed. "Me and my girl..." He trailed off and then my eyebrows furrowed. "Broke up?" "Yeah, my girlfriend and I broke up." He nodded and slumped into the chair next to me. A part of me was saddened to see him like this, yet another part of me was so happy to see that he was single again. I know it sounded crazy to be both happy and sad. It's been over 10 years and I still clung to the hopes that I had my chance now. "Oh, I'm sorry, Matthew." He shrugged. "No, it's not your problem, B." B. That nickname he had given me still gets me giddy. "Do you want to tell me why?" I asked, not trying to pry too hard. "How are you feeling?" "I'm okay. It's her loss, I guess," he sighed. That was another thing I loved about him. I loved how confident he was compared to me. He was my exact opposite, like my yin and yang. He cleared his throat and continued. "We broke up because she wants to hang out with this guy, and I knew he's going to try and make a move on her. I told her no, so she can't, and she went anyways. Can you believe it?" "Wow," I said, widening my eyes. "Who doesn't listen to their boyfriends?" He smiled at my question, nodded as he made his way to the door. "That's why you'll be the perfect girl, B." I opened my mouth, was about to ask why don't I be his girlfriend when he cursed. I blinked a few times and tilted my head to the side. "What's wrong?" "The door's locked," he informed me and then started to bang, calling for help. After half an hour, we decided to stop yelling. It was already 8 at night. We both took our phones and realized that both our phones were dead, as well as our computer, too. So we were going to be trapped here together for 48 hours, or 2 days. Luckily, we had food and drinks, so we didn't starve. In the beginning, we did kind of freak out. We thought our parents were going to come home and report it since we were missing. But turns out, we got our movie night mixed up. His parents thought he was going to me, and my parents thought I was going to his place. Needless to say, no one was going to come rescue us. By Saturday, we decided to play Truth or Dare to pass the time since we're stuck in the classroom together for another day. In the beginning, it was simple questions, until he picked Dare. I decided to just take the plunge. "Kiss me." His eyes widened in shock. "I'm sorry, I thought I heard you wrong, B. What did you say?" "I dare you to kiss me," I repeated, firmer this time. I gave him a mischievous grin, even though my heart was ready to beat out of my chest. I placed my hands onto my hips and winked. "What's the matter? Are you going to back down on a bet?" He scoffed and then his lips were on mine. I didn't think he was going to do it. He was kissing me. My head went black. All I can think about was how good his lips felt on mine. I could feel just how much we both wanted this. He cupped my cheeks, pressing himself deeper into me. My hands made their way to the band of his boxers, and suddenly he pushed me off. No! I sat on the floor, stunned for a moment, before the hurt by the way he rejected me hits. Tears pricked at the corners of my eyes, but I refused to cry. Rather, I looked up at him. He was panting, his eyes wide as he cursed. Sorry, B, but... But what? I smiled through my heart's pain. I sat up, shielding myself with my arms. You're willing to do everyone in the school but me, isn't that right? Am I really that ugly? No, he shouted, his eyes wide. No, don't ever think like that. Then what is it? I was shouting at this point. Why? Because you're different. You're not like the other girls. You make me feel. You have my damn heart. I stared at him, my eyes wide like a saucer plate. What? He blushed, running his hands through his beautiful brown hair. I have a crush on you as well, for a while. Why do you think I always want to hang out with you? But you've had girlfriends before, I pointed out. Like you're willing to date anyone but me. Because I don't want to lose our friendship, he shouted. So I did a selfish thing behind your back. You ever wondered why you can't get a boyfriend? It's because of me. I gasped. What? I threatened every single one of any guys that showed interest in you, he confessed with a dry laugh. I will never let anyone touch what's rightfully mine. I claimed you since we were 7. 7? He nodded. When we played Pretend Family, I put a ring pop candy on your finger. It was the day your eyes shined and you stole my heart. I tried to tell myself we're just friends, but I never was able to fall for anyone else. It only filled a void for the time being. But you're the one. Penelope, be mine. I nodded. Yes. For the rest of Sunday, we would not let go of one another besides eating or using the bathroom. We got so lucky that we got trapped in the science room where there's a sink and bathroom attached to the other side. Shortly after the weekend, we got released by the janitor. But that weekend changed everything. I wasn't too surprised I got pregnant. After all, we used proper protection while we made love in the classroom. He also asked me out, and we've been dating for about 2 months now. And I still haven't told him I was pregnant. See, I thought my boyfriend was over the top jealous and possessive before. I couldn't even imagine how he'll be when I break the news to him. There's another reason why every single one of his relationships didn't work out. It wasn't also because he was hopelessly in love with me, but also because his girlfriends all hated how over the top he is. He has a tendency to get into fights over guys who show interest in them that led most of them to breaking up with him. Luckily, I don't think I would be having this problem since Matthew had scared off most of the men already. Now I have no idea if I should tell him about the baby or not. I know he's going to be restricting me from going out and maybe even tell me to drop out of college because it's too stressful for the baby. Not to mention, I know it was reckless and I need to face the consequences, but I'm not ready to be a mom. What should I do? Should I secretly get rid of it and not tell my boyfriend or my parents? What would you do in this situation? Please leave a comment.